Hi there everybody, and I'm starting this video just with a different view today. Thought I'd get in front of the camera for once and speak to you in person. And I also have something in the background that the eagle eyes might notice that is different. I've only got one set, might give you a clue. I've only got one set at the moment, but there are other parts to come, and I will be updating you on those. But if you can notice it now, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Maybe even just comment on it. But for now, I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'll update you again in another video. But this video is more about the new parts I've got coming, just a quick update on what I've done so far since the last video and the new parts. So let's spin this camera around and I'll show you what I've got. Right, first thing I can point out is those wheels are on and they're not coming off because you've got blue wheel nuts on there. So they're staying on, and that's how they're going to be. And finally, I can actually test the suspension and check that this thing works. So that's the first step that I've taken. The next one is as you might notice, have fitted the computer in there, the speed controller in there. So that's fitted. The terminals are fitted, so I've just cut those down to get those the 90s in there. So that's all fitted, and it all fits quite well. And wires are all sort of fed across towards the radio box, and then I just need to get a radio box to get that done. So possibly today we can get that shell. We can get that. I've got it over there somewhere. There it is, the top shell on there, because hopefully I won't need to take it back off again. The other thing I have is these. So these are the new parts that have come in, and I didn't want to mess around with plastic on the bottom, so a lot of protection on the bottom there for the underside. So we've got front skid plate, main skid plate. This piece basically goes somewhere there to cover that. We have a rear section to go over the rear diff, protect the rear diff. Cover all that plastic that's there as well, possibly. And we've got the back piece that will go over the battery piece, the battery shelf. So I do have to use the old one because it basically just sticks onto here, and then that goes on. So we need to get those on there to start with. So they're pretty simple. They're just basic screws I have got. You can see just in the background there, I've got the screws. So there's set for that little plate and a separate little set for each one of the plates. So I'm going to get the parts I can get bolted on, and then I'll give you an idea of how I got on with the speed controller, and also I've temporarily mounted the motor and everything else, and I'll just give you an update on all that once I've got these bolted in. And there we go. There is all the plates in place. So front ones, we've got 2 bolts here, 2 at the back. They were the bigger bolts in the set. And don't be an idiot. The front plate here, you do have to put it on first. So don't do what I did, put this plate on and then realise you can't get that plate on because it's nut and bolted. And the nuts are a nightmare to get on with it plated in place. So get that plate on there first, then do the rest. And then I fitted this one, bolts all around, you can see them. And then these ones are the longer bolts. And then you've got shorter bolts on this back plate to get that on. And then this just sticks on with some double-sided. And obviously this is going to be temporary because I've got to take this back off to sort the motor out, put the pinion in. Not sure about this bit. It's kind of covering what I wanted to show off. So possibly might just trim it off a bit or keep it on there. I don't know, you let me know. Also, do I paint it black or do I keep it as it is? Does it look all right as metal, or do I need to paint this black so I've got still got the blue and the black? I don't know. You tell me what you reckon. I'm tempted to keep it as it is just because it is a protection thing and it's a separate unit altogether. So it's probably going to be all right. It's going to get scuffed anyway, so keep it as it is maybe. But if you really think it looks better in black, you may do that. But yeah, anyway, that's that. So that's all sorted, all protected underneath. So this piece, I put this in. This is just double-sided in. You can see underneath the term. Well, you can't because, hang on, because I put the plate on there. You can see under the battery terminal, that's the two battery ports there for the batteries. Leave that off for a minute. And then I shaped this piece to get them to fit in there. And I think that was pretty much it. Oh, I had to, you can see from the top here now, possibly, if I can get it in there, the wires coming up through for the motor, just where that red wire is down in here. I did have to shape that out to get them to come up through, but they did go in all right. And everything else seemed to be pretty simple. I did wire the terminals straight to the wires coming out from the piece, so that I did that. I've soldered it all lovely, but you have got to be careful with these fittings. You don't get them too hot. You may have seen a video where they explain it. You get them too hot, they're going to melt and the terminals are going to bend. So you just got to be careful with that. Apart from that, it's all pretty simple and it's all done. So next job is going to be the finishing touches. So we'll get the electrics in there. I do have some batteries, so I've got some batteries coming. So we'll get the batteries in and then we can get this moving. And then finishing touches will be things like the actual shell, the rear wheels, try and get a set of those possibly, and then just sort of button everything up and get everything working right. There's a front piece here. I think I might be missing something there. I think it might be to do with the original front guard. I'll have to look that up. So anytime you come across an issue, you just got to look it up. Look it up online if you can find it, or look it up on TRAXXAS site if you can work it out, and you can get that done. The only other job is to fit the shell, but I think I might just wait until I can get a radio box in there just to make sure it's not in the way. And the battery, get the battery in there, get it running, make sure it's all working, and then go and get that in there, because then it can stay in there and we won't have to mess around with it anymore. So I think for now that's it. So we'll have another video later on. I'll give you the answer and the update on what's behind me, and we'll see you next time. So bye bye for now.